video. My name is Alizaya and I'm in for Black Transsexual. Get up into the big purr, whatever. I'm back. How y'all doing, girl? You already know what this Black Transsexual is having to do, girl. I'm having to push out this content for y'all, girl. Boom shakalaka. Today's video is going to be a little bit different, girl. Today's video is a reaction video. Yeah! Alrighty, before we get into today's get out video, you already know what I'm gonna say. I need you guys to like, comment, and subscribe because you would never find another ghetto Black transsexual like me. Hello. I'm beautiful, you're beautiful. Get up into the babe prayer, whatever. Go ahead and lock in on my soul. Alright, y'all, so today's video I'm going to be reacting to TikToks about, like, you know, trans women and their dating experience, you know, and their point of view of the dating scene out here or whatever, because I'm bored and I have nothing else to do and I just want to get my thoughts and opinions, you know. Let's get into the ghetto or whatever. Boom. Alrighty, so we're finna get started with the first video. Boom shakalaka.
So I'm going to be spilling the tea today for the dolls only. So if you're not one, keep scrolling. Okay, now it's just us girls. So you guys know that one girl from Thailand, and she's so beautiful, and she went viral because she got interviewed by this guy, and now she's dating him.
Oh.
You know exactly who I'm talking about.
I know.
This girl refers to herself as a ladyboy.
Maybe.
It's what they do in Thailand. I'm from Vietnam, I'm their neighbor. I understand the culture. The way people view, like, being trans there is very different from the West, so I get it. And good for her, like, whatever she want to do, okay? But this guy, pretty much, it's like a passport bro, and
what's a passport
his main
bro?
audience on his channels and his social media, and he would not fail to include the word ladyboy in all of his posts, like hanging out with ladyboy and her name, and like going to a restaurant with ladyboy. Let's call her Lily. Like traveling with ladyboy Lily. Would not fail to include that word. And the comments on his post fully is just like these guys mockery, like just calling her a man and saying shit like, oh, it's a sausage party, it's just two guys chilling with each other.
Oh my god.
Like nasty stuff, like mocking stuff. But deep down, you know they're jealous because she's so beautiful and they can't get her, and he got her. Anyway, what I have a problem with is how he's not deleting these comments, how he's not making a video or addressing these comments that is not okay. That is his girlfriend, right? Like, the world has always been a scary place for girls like us. And now we're being used as a scapegoat, as a distraction for all these politicians to do fucked up shit, but they can direct the population attention to us so that no one is calling them out on those things, but they're paying attention to us, right? We are being the scapegoat right now, a scary place. So it's inevitable that, like, people are always gonna say nasty stuff about us. Like, I'm sorry, like, I'm always, here and there, I'm gonna be called men. It's just, like, not avoidable. But when it comes to your man, your boyfriend, your husband, your partner, he's supposed to be protective. He's supposed to protect you from the world. But he allows that because he wanted to chase clout. He wanted more engagement on his post. He wanted more fame.
Well, aren't you supposed to be getting paid? Hello?
Crazy to me. And I'm just using this story.
Okay, girl, pause. Because, girl, goodbye. Hang it up flat screen. I'm already going to give, like, the first one, like, I understand where she's coming from, where she's like, why are you not addressing these hate comments? But the way that I look at it, like, I get hate comments all the time on every single social media platform, literally. And for most people, they ask me, like, how do I handle, you know, the hate comments? How do I respond to hate comments? I don't. There's no point in engaging with people I don't know. I don't care. Unless you're saying something very out of pocket, then okay, then I'll address it. But if it's the constant, oh, you're a man, who cares? Who cares? There's nothing to address because I'm very comfortable in my skin. Like, maybe the lady boy from Thailand is comfortable in their skin, and then the boyfriend is comfortable, and they already had this talk off of social media. So why does it matter to you? Like, you're not the one in the relationship. I don't know, girl. And I understand where you're coming from, talking about, like, you know, if it was my boyfriend, I would want him to say something. Sister, well, it's not your boyfriend. So, hang it up flat screen, respectfully.
Okay, so dating as a trans girl is very intricate and delicate in the sense that, like, I hate having the uncomfortable conversation when I meet a guy out in public organically, which is why I find myself oftentimes just using dating apps because it's easier to navigate in the sense that I can just put the fact that I am trans in my profile, and then there doesn't need to be like some uncomfortable conversation had. But even so, even when I put it in my profile, sometimes like I'll match with a guy and we'll go on a date or something, and the date goes super well, and then he goes and looks at my profile again, and he realizes, oh, she's trans, and then he just cuts me off. And
Wait, are you not telling the guys prior to y'all going on a date that, hey, sugar bear, I'm transgender? Like, if he has to double take and be like, oh, this is a trans, or like he has to recheck your profile to finally see that you're trans because you like didn't double check with him that he knows you're trans. Like, honey, you gotta understand that these men just literally be swiping right on everybody. Literally, they don't care who they match with, girl. They could be matching with lovely peaches on the track. Literally, they don't care as long as they got a leg and a hole, girl. They don't care, girl, and some knees. They don't care. Literally. Oh my God, girl, what's going on? Literally. And then also, you're saying you're on dating apps looking for a man. I'm going to say this right now, honey. That is impossible for you to find a man on a dating app. Like, I'm not going to say that it's impossible, but if you're in a small town, it's going to be impossible. Just the way that I look at it. You have to go to like a gay event. You have to go around where gay people are. Because I say, the best experience I've had with my life is actually experiencing life outside of, my cellular device, my phone. Like, I've talked to a couple of guys, I went on a couple of dates and stuff like that, but that stuff happened because of me going out in public and trying to talk to people. Yeah, literally. Oh, and if also, 3, 2, 1. Also, if y'all hear, this fan in the background, don't mind it, girl. It's hot right now, and literally, I turned on my air conditioner so y'all can kind of hear me. So, yeah, you mind your business, sister, because it's hot. No shade.
I was very scared that I was in one of those situations again, but I was wrong. So let me set the scene. I matched with a guy on Hinge, very cute. We had a lot of similar interests in fashion and music, so I was like, this is cool. Conversation flowed really easily. He asked me to go on a date with him. We go on a date. The date goes perfectly, like actually perfectly. It was just like very sweet. Afterwards, like we go back to his house, we watch a movie. I told him that I am trying to become a DJ, so he's like, oh my god, bring your DJ set next time. Like I want to hear your mix, whatever. I was like, fuck yeah, like that would be fun. And we don't kiss or anything. Like that was it. Like I go home that night. And then, we're texting the days following, and I go over to his house again, and he works a lot during the day. He's, like, in marketing and stuff, so he just works a lot on his computer during the day. And so I went over to his house in the evening again. At this point, I was, like, the conversation of me being trans had not been brought up. So, and usually, typically, it is a conversation piece. It is something that the guys will want to talk about because it's interesting, and I am very open to talking about it because I love educating people and informing people of what it is like to live as a trans person. But the conversation just like wasn't being had, and there was just like I couldn't get an indicator. I couldn't like gauge whether or not he knew. Like I literally could not gauge it. So I was like, does he know? Like, does he know or not? And like, I don't want to take this further if he knows. Like, I don't want to get like too many emotions involved on his side and my side if he doesn't know, and if it's gonna be a thing that catches him off guard that causes the whole thing to just fizzle out and like that it's done. I didn't want that. So I'm sitting here fucking stressing. I'm still going over to his house. I've gone over to his. We've hung out like 5 times now, right? But each time like there's never been a conversation about it. So I was like, does he know or not? And on the one hand, the reason. So in my mind, I had two hunches, right? I had 2 hunches. On the one.
Okay, pause. Because this is what the thing. What if he was trying to make a move on you and I don't know if she got the surgery or not, but let's just say metaphorically she doesn't have the surgery. What if he tried to lay his arm between your thighs and he feel a giant princess wand down there? Then what you gonna do? Because you said that there's no indication that he might not know that you're transgender. What the are you doing? Why are you? Oh my God. Every time I talk to a guy, literally, I have in my profile the trans stickers, literally the I am transgender in caps, so that means I have a third leg. Like, yeah, I want people to know. But even then, like I said, some guys do not read the bios. So you have to take the extra steps and be like, do you know that I'm transgender? Before you even send a, hey, what's good? Like, text back. Like, when they text you and you got to text them back, don't text them back. Be like, did you read my bio? Then, if they say yes, then continue the conversation. Because now you just wasting your time. You putting all your energy in. Now you looking stupid. Girl, I'm mad.
I was like, okay, well, maybe he does know, and he's just being very respectful, because every time I've spent the night at his house, he's never tried anything sexually with me, and typically I'm used to guys, like, trying to see how far they can get on, like, the second date. So, in my mind, I was like, okay, well, maybe he's just being respectful, as, you know, just wanting to genuinely get to know me. Or my second hunch was that he knows and he just doesn't really know what to do, and also doesn't want to bring it up to make me feel uncomfortable, which I also very much respect and I'm grateful for. So, but again, like, I didn't know, and I hate that, like, uncertainty. Like, I hate sitting in that uncertainty.
I need to know the
when
ending.
I think that I have found something that could be really good. So, you know, I'm still going over to his house, and we're having a great time. I'm mixing for him on my DJ set. Again, we kissed, all right? We kissed, but nothing more, all right? And I really appreciated that. I was like, okay, so he's not going to try anything more. So
Does he know
really
that you're
good for me.
trans?
Awesome. Like, that's fucking perfect. Never respectful king. Anyway, so the uncertainty was just eating me alive. I was like, all right, we've kissed now. Does he fucking know or not? So I bit the bullet today. I got back from his house this morning. I bit the bullet, and I just sent him a text, and I was like, hey, so you read my Hinge profile thoroughly, right? And he said, yeah, what's up? Like, what's up? And I said, so you know that I'm trans? Like, you're fully aware of that? And he said, yes, I know. And I just thought that since, you know, I saw it in your profile, and since, like, we both knew about it, so I just thought everything was cool. Like, I didn't think there had to be a conversation. I was like, thank fucking God.
Oh my God. Okay. I take back almost everything I said, because that's the main thing, like, literally. But I'm still on, you got to make sure, just to make sure, so you don't get your heart broken on the curb. Okay? But, like, oh my God. At least it worked out.
So
Hopefully.
this is gonna sound really sad, but he took me on, like, some very, very nice dates, like, to these, like, expensive ass restaurants that I've never been to in my fucking life. And in my mind, I was like, would he do this? Like, does he not know that I'm trans, and he's only doing these, like, super extravagant, like, fancy things for me because he doesn't know that I'm trans, because he thinks that I'm just, like, a cis girl? Like, and it sucks to think that, like, it sucks to, like, subconsciously go to, like, me being trans equals I deserve less. Oh, like, that sucks.
That is
sucks,
the
but that's, like,
thing,
everyone
though,
have been fucking
literally.
conditioned to society. But that's genuinely, like, where my mind went. I was like, fuck, like, and he was also, like, offering to, like, buy me things when we went to the mall, and I declined, because I was like, I don't really like taking, you know.
Girl, no, I like to go shopping. You gonna buy it, girl? I ain't gonna
like
say
that,
no.
at least not
Hello.
that, all right? But he is, you know, he's a businessman. He's a businessman, all right? And I love a businessman.
Girl,
but
you should have been selling that ass.
He treats me the same as he would anybody else, and I'm a lucky girl. I'm a very lucky girl, and I feel very lucky today. I have, my best friend told me to try this new Red Bull flavor. It's fucking delicious. Shout out bestie. But yeah, that's kind of it. It's just like, that was just kind of like a little deep dive into, like.
Okay, girl. Well, hang it up flat screen. Okay, that was the ending of that TikTok. I don't know if it worked out, because I forgot kind of the beginning part. No tea, no shade. But I have no real thoughts on this one, because, like, I don't know. With me, like, I understand what she said. I understand what she meant by, like, because I'm transgender, like, I feel like I deserve less in a sort of sense, because, you know, people don't see us as women. But if a person truly loves you, or they truly are attracted to you, or they truly want to really get to know you as a person, they wouldn't put your gender at the forefront. They wouldn't care about that. What they're going to care about is your heart. Literally, like, I feel like in this dating scene as trans women, we're so lusted over, and that's the hardest part, because we don't, like, I feel like some, not all, but I feel like some trans women really don't know the difference between a guy lusting over you and actually liking you. There's a big difference, literally. But let's get to the next one.
Dating as a trans woman is almost impossible. Like, every person I've met has been on BS, whether they came from the past
Oh,
or
she
whether
from
these
Post
motherfuckers I
Op.
met them yesterday. I talked to them one day, and then they just start. I don't know if God is trying to tell me to just hold out, like, to stop trying to, you know what I'm saying? He removes those people out of my life in, like, one day, but they last one day and they be gone. Like, what is going on with this dating shit? Like, dating for a trans woman is, like, non-existent. It's non-existent. Like, I'm about to give up in, like, 5.3 seconds.
That
You know what I'm
period.
saying? I just want one real person, male, woman. It don't matter. It don't matter what you are. You could be male or female or stud or whatever. I don't give a fuck. Why is it so hard for me to find somebody that's gonna be on one and not trying to use a bitch or not trying to come up off a bitch? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I feel, in my personal opinion, this might be a little controversial to say, but I've kind of had to realize if I wanted to find a person, if I wanted to find quote unquote my Prince Charming, I had to realize I had to go on a self healing journey and I had to worry about myself because I can't just chase after somebody. I can't just chase after this thing that isn't destined for me right now. For me personally, I realized maybe I'm just not meant to be loved at this point in my life right now. Maybe God has something coming for me later on in my life. So the main thing I had to do is I had to put in the effort for myself. Like I feel like a lot of us in this community, like we want somebody just like us. We want, us, we want a partner to sit over here and make us laugh, to keep a conversation going, to not just lust over us, to sit over here and love us publicly and public and stuff. But I feel like you can do all those things with yourself. Like right now, this might be a little cliche to say, but right now I'm kind of like dating myself. And I know y'all might be like, what do you mean dating yourself, Alizea? Like, I'm going on a healing journey where I don't need a man in my life. I feel like men are just a waste of space right now. Like, it's just not in my blood, like, just to be entertaining a guy right now because I want more for myself. I really do. And I can't ask for more in my life if I'm not putting in the effort to get more. If I'm worrying about all the wrong things, like, if I'm like, how do I say this? If I'm begging to be loved by a man, if I'm begging to find a partner in this world, I might find a partner, but it might be something like, I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it like, a dating situation, like, domestic violence situation, a DV situation. Like, I don't know. Like, it just might be one of those situations, and I don't want it to be that. You get what I mean?
That's some real shit. Can I find that? Anything out there like that? Anything?
Oh.
She's a
Oh, shit.
fucking dude. I'm not fucking with her anymore. So now all of a sudden she's a dude. She wasn't a dude when you were looking at those pictures and shit. Yeah,
Clark.
that was before I knew. You have to be delusional as fuck to look at that lady and call her a dude. You don't like dudes. I know I don't like dudes. That's why I can't talk to her anymore. What are you not understanding? I'm saying she's not a fucking dude. If you like dudes, you wouldn't have been attracted to her at all. But you saw her and all you saw was a woman, so she's a fucking woman. She's a trans woman. Not trans man. She's a fucking woman.
Literally.
It's in her fucking name. She was born a fucking male. Okay? Okay? And now she's a trans female. Female. Okay? At the very least, does she have a fucking vagina? Do you know? She sent me some pictures because I wanted proof, but none of that matters.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, the last part threw me off. But how do I say this by being the most polite way that I can think of and the most smart way I can think of? I feel like for a lot of us, like, a lot of people, like, I feel like I keep saying this, but there's no real representation in our community that represents us in the right way to show that, hey, like, it's okay to be attracted to trans women. It's okay to, because, like, a lot of people, like, a lot of men have in the back of their head, if they like a trans woman, that makes them gay, but I personally think it doesn't make you gay. I personally just think it makes you, in my opinion, bisexual or trans attracted. And there's nothing wrong with being that. Like, literally, you just like what you like. Like, a lot of men just like femininity. They don't even care. Like, they just like feminine features. They just like a feminine face. They just like a feminine body. And that's okay. That's why I feel like some men are just pansexual And I feel like there's not enough people to sit over here and tell them, like, tell these young men and these, young adults or just adults in general, that it's okay. Like, just, worry about your life. Like, I always say this to any guy I've ever met, like, anybody I've ever met. Everybody has the same 24 hours as Beyonce, so don't waste your time. Don't beg people to like you. Don't sit over here and listen to anybody, and trust your intuition and do what makes you happy. You only live once in this world, so why do you care about what other people think about you? Literally. You might not have the same money as Beyonce. You might not have the same talent as Beyonce. You sure as hell ain't got the same strength as Beyonce, but Beyonce's a human being, and she's going to do exactly what she wants, and she's going to get what she wants. And you could do the exact same. And that's what I be telling these guys. I'm like, if you feel that you're attracted to this person and you might actually want to pursue them, but you're still so scared, try it out. You never know what could happen. Literally, like, this person, like the trans person, could literally be, how do I say this, be your ideal woman or your ideal man. I don't know what y'all be got going on in this community. No tea, no shade, girl. But, like, I don't know, like, it's a little ghetto. No tea, no shade. I just wish, like a lot of people will understand that it doesn't make you gay. It just makes you trans attracted or just pansexual, literally. Like, some people really need to figure themselves out, and everybody just so hung up on the idea of falling in love with a person but not actually knowing the person. Because, like, the honeymoon phase only lasts 5 months. So after the 5-month mark, you really get to know who you're really dealing with. And a lot of people don't last after 5 months, if we're going to be for real. Or even after 2 years, literally. Yeah, well, y'all not ready for that.
Every trans girl has fallen in love with a DL guy. And this is honestly just like a canon event if you, like, date cis men. I feel like this is pretty common, unfortunately, to latch on to somebody who is not committing to you and is disrespecting you and is just kind of keeping you, like, hidden away. Transphobia is pretty heavily ingrained into our culture. When we see, like, men dressing up as women, and it's like a gag for, like, a man to be, like, feminine, like, it's, like, super funny. And if you watch, like, any comedy special, there's always, like, a jab at, like, trans women, like, 90% of the time.
Let's talk about these trannies. All right.
Like, that's, like, just a joke that is thrown around, like, very frivolously. And so I think what happens is, because of that transphobia, when you are kind of stepping out onto the dating scene, you kind of are going in with that knowledge and are almost, like, expecting to be treated poorly. And if you're...
That's the thing, though. It shouldn't be like that. I will say this to any trans woman that's watching this. I am telling you guys, I don't like straight men. And a lot of people always ask me why I consider myself, like, more like, I'm not even pansexual, because I don't like I don't like cooter. I don't like meow meow. No, I like men. But I feel personally like I'm more just into gay men. I don't know if any other trans woman can relate to that, but I personally feel there's more of a chance with me dating somebody if they're openly gay than me dating somebody who's straight, cis, just a straight man. And even then, like, I'm not attracted to straight men because a lot of straight men aren't really secure enough to sit over here and date you publicly. And like she said, a lot of trans women end up falling in love with straight men and DL men per se, because they're stuck on the idea that maybe one day this man will openly love them publicly. But the sad truth is that will never, ever in a million years happen. And if it does happen, girl, you're one lucky doll. But it's very hard for you to find somebody who's actually openly gonna love you, who is, a D1 athlete, a hood hitter, a gangbanger, a power, a politician, a person. Like, it's very hard for us trans women. And like she said, like, what's represented in the media is not really what this culture is. Like, we're just human beings with feelings, and I feel like that's what a lot of people in this world fail to realize, is that we're human beings with feelings, and all we want to do in this world is just to be loved and just to be respected. And it's hard. So when you go out in society and you're literally trying to find your ideal date, you're trying to find your ideal partner, it's very hard because of what society already perceives trans women to be. Let me continue to watch this, because girl, this is kind of tea.
Expecting to be treated poorly, and then somebody treats you better than shitty, you settle, and you don't realize you're settling because you have nothing else to compare it to.
I kind of understand what she mean by like settling, but I'm gonna be honest, I've never been in a relationship. I don't know what love looks like, so I really can't give you my whole real input on falling in love and stuff like that, because I've never in my absolute life ever taken a DL man seriously. I might have lusted over a guy, but there's a very big difference between lusting and actual loving. There's a very big difference. And a lot of these straight cisgender men will lust over you. They will talk all these, wonderful things that a doll wants to hear. They'll be like, oh, I love you. You're just so beautiful. You're just so feminine. But they'll never say the real word that you want to hear. I want to love you openly, publicly, and I just want to live the rest of my life with you. They will never say that. And that's why, personally, I can never take a straight man serious, because although they might find me attractive and they might actually want to mess with me or whatever, but they just want to mess with me. They don't really want to get to know me on a deeper level. And that's why I tell all of my, dolls, there's really no point in dealing and entertaining the DL man if it ain't for money. I'm not trying to promote, the work or whatever, but there's no point in, entertaining those men. Hang it up flat screen, no tea, no shade.
Picture this, you're a trans girl on a date with a cis straight male that knows you're trans, and he has the fucking audacity to make you look stupid. So basically, I was on a date with this guy, right, and we went to go get dinner, and we happened to have a trans waitress. Ooh. And so the waitress, she comes to us or whatever. She asks us, like, do you want to start off with any waters, da. And so he's like, oh, well, for my woman, like, he started ordering for me or whatever. I don't know why he called me his woman, but he called me his woman. He referred, I was like, ooh. And he was like, oh, she would get this and that, because I already told him what I wanted, and he said he would just order it. I told him what I wanted, he ordered. And then he was like, he said something to her, but basically he used pronouns when referring to her, and he used he, him pronouns when referring to her. And it was taken back, and I can tell she was taken back. Like, she gasped, and she, like, jumped when she heard it. And I was like, how can you be on a date with a trans woman?
Literally!
And still not know
I'm
the right
gagged.
terms. Like, you could, if you were unsure.
Okay, that's the thing. Hold up, pause. Because that's the thing. He showed his true colors then and there when he said that. And I hope sister ran away. Literally, I hope she ran away and she never talked to this man again. Because if he did that to a waitress that is transgender, imagine what he would do to you behind closed doors and what he perceives you to be. Literally. No.
You have to use he, him pronouns. You could use they, them if you were unsure. But she was visibly a woman. You know what I mean? I mean, she might have had a little stubble, but a lot of people have PCOS. You know what I mean? But yeah, so I had to tell him and let him know, like, like, basically tell him to, like, apologize. And he did. He apologized, and he understood where I was coming from, and he hasn't been doing any slip-ups. But I'm like, well, what y'all doing in this situation? Like, would you cut him off? Would you, like, would you, like, realize that obviously he probably just doesn't know about trans stuff, so you just educate him? Or am I a dumb bitch? Or, like, would you just say deuces people?
I I would 100% cut him off. But if it was a genuine accident, okay, maybe we can, like, pause. Because there are accidents, sometimes we do slip up, literally. But, like, because I slip up all the time. I ain't gonna lie. I be slipping up. I be trying to read y'all's comments. Sometimes y'all have y'all preferred pronouns in there, and I be calling y'all girl and Bookie Bear. That's just me, girl. I just call everybody girl and Bookie Bear. But yeah, like, sometimes you do slip up. But I just, like, I trust my intuition, and my intuition is telling me he will do you the same way. Like, say you didn't want to give him no, meow meow, and that sexy where's favorite place, and you kept declining his advances, he will spaz out on you and call you a man and all that other stuff. I feel like he showed his true colors then and there, and you need to leave him. Sister, I don't know if you're watching me, sister, because we both mutuals, but it's time to run away. Run away. Unless he throwing thousands of dollars on you at the bedroom, girl.
Boom. So he was like, I want to eat your cat. I'm a muncher. I was like, slow your horses. There's no cat to eat here. He was like, what do you mean? I was like, I'm transgender. And then he was like, oh. And then he unmatched me. I was so mad. This has happened to me before, but recently I've been making an effort to put that I'm trans in my bio and in my opening statements. So the fact that somebody matched me, said I was so hot, said they wanted to fucking eat my motherfucking cat right then and there, unmatched me was crazy because it's like, bitch, I'm still beautiful. But I mean, the transgender is always the cutoff point. Damn.
Literally.
Boom. So he was like, I want to eat your cat.
Well, that's the thing, though. I'm going to say this. Like, oh, girl, Alizé, let's just be real. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to be 100% for real. Like, Sister Bear, I feel like for all of us dolls, like, that's really the big cutoff point with dating. Like, a guy will, actually see us as a woman, because we all, like, a lot of us be giving fish, a lot of us be giving tea, they see what they see and they like what they see or whatever, right? But then they see trans, they're like, oh, man, they instantly think man, and that's the breaking point. And that's why, like, a lot of us struggle with self-confidence and stuff like that, because they're like, am I always just going to be perceived as a man in society? And really, no. It's just that people are just ignorant. And luckily, she ran away. Luckily, God said, hey, sister, it's not meant to be, because he just wanted to eat your cooter. I mean, oop. He just wanted to dig in some doonies and stuff like that. He was lusting over you. He was never going to take you serious. And I get those all the time, literally. Guys be like, oh my God, I want to bite it. Oh my God, I want to kiss all of you. Oh my God, you're just so freaking beautiful. Did you read my bio? Oh my God, I didn't know you was a man. Bye, man. I'm like, girl, goodbye. Hang it up flat screen. Glad I ain't link with you, literally. Like, it's never that deep. Literally, it's never that deep.
Anyone's having a conversation about being lusted over and not loved, it's trans women. Trans women are literally being lusted over since the beginning of time and not loved. We're asking for someone to show up for us and love us the way that we have loved ourselves. Like, we've done that work, because it takes so much self-love to step out and be your authentic self and to tell the world who you are and show the world who you are and not give any fucks about what people think, about what people have to say. Okay, we leave our houses every fucking day and we are doing what we want to do. We present the way that we want to present, regardless if someone's going to throw something at us, try to shoot us, try to spit on us, try to jump us. Like, it's hard out here, okay? And then now we're having conversations about passing and non-passing and brick and doll and pretty and this and that, just as hard for pretty girls as it is brick girls. That is a whole other conversation. We're not going to go there. I don't want anyone to say, don't leave lusting over trans women out of this conversation. We have to keep that. That is uber important. Most people get love. Like, we have to be in the shadows. We always have to be the ones to put up with some bullshit. Like, dudes are so interested that they just don't equate, like, a relationship with us, loving us openly, publicly, socially, as something that they should do, like, that they can do and they can have success in. After establishing the fact that most men are into trans women, they're still gonna run, they're still gonna act silly, they're still gonna act like, no, that's not. And as a collective, trans women, especially Black trans women, we have learned our worth. My sisters have worked on that. A lot of women have worked on it. Congratulations, girls. It's really difficult out here when the merit of validation is having a relationship, having a man, being seen with a man, right? The lusting is rampant and it will continue. We are the most searched thing in corn. Yet we receive the least. We receive the least support. We receive the least amount of attention and love. We are only asking for those that want us and want to be with us and love us to love us in the light. That's all.
Yeah, she spoke everything right. She spoke everything right. All we really want is just to be seen as human beings, and society only perceives us as men. Society and quote unquote men only see us as objects, and we're not objects. We're human beings with feelings, and that's what a lot of people fail to realize. Like, I'm not an object. I'm just trying to be loved peacefully, and I wish that it wasn't so hard for us as trans women, just as trans men. I don't know what trans person is watching this, but I feel like it's hard for any of us to be seen as human beings because everybody is just looking at us as objects, and that's the hardest part. I done told y'all though, like, that's why I don't talk to straight men. I like gay men, I like bisexual men, because they've already did the work to come out the closet, so that they kind of know how it is, and they don't really care about being called gay or perceived as gay or this and that, because like, they just don't care. They're comfortable in their sexuality. If I were any of you guys, and if you guys could take my advice from this video, the one advice I will always give you is, if you're ever going to take a guy serious, always take a pansexual or a bisexual guy serious. And they're way better in a lot of things. Trust me, I know exactly what I'm talking about, literally. Ew, faggot.
If a trans person does not disclose their identity to somebody who would not have consented, knowing that they were trans, it is comparable to me dosing a woman with something who would not have consented to sex with me had I not give her something to influence her decision. Rape and sexual assault is rape and sexual assault no matter how the fuck you do it.
Who the hell let this guy back on TikTok? I thought we had already dealt with him. He's doing a lot of really disgusting videos on TikTok. That has to be probably the number one. Let's think for a second. Let's use some empathy and compassion. Why do you think some trans people might not want to disclose the fact that they're trans? Maybe it's because cis men are killing and murdering them for being trans. You want to compare that to drugging someone and raping them while they're unconscious. Every time I think I have a little bit of...
Well, that kind of is the same thing if we're gonna think about it. They're not ready for that, Clint. Stop this shit. They're not ready for that. Alrighty, y'all. Well, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this ghetto video. I just wanted to make a little cute video for you guys to watch while y'all are at work or while y'all are in school or whatever y'all got going on. Some of y'all are in summer school because, yeah, some of y'all, I read those confessions. Girl, some of y'all need to go back to a hospital. Y'all need to go to a mental hospital. Some of y'all, not all of y'all, girl. They know who I'm talking about, girl. But I love you guys. I hope y'all enjoyed this ghetto video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And follow me on Instagram right here, Boom Shakalaka. But I'm going to talk to you beautiful people later, girl. Oh, girl, not me stuttering, girl. I hang it a flat screen.